50 minutes to go. Well, 55 minutes. Until the beta launches and no one can get in. Because I've been down this road many times. Not expecting it to work, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Try to do some grind runs on this in the meantime. Not really, no. A lot of people have been pointing out that the progression is really bad. It's really slow. And some people have pointed out some hitbox jank as well, so it seems like a lot of the problems I had with it were not just me being picky. I definitely can be very picky. Because I've been playing games for 30 years and I know exactly what I like and don't like. Seems like in this case everybody has been complaining about the same things. The progression being really slow and broken is a pretty big deal breaker for me. I don't like playing roguelikes where it doesn't feel like you're actually making any progress, and that's a real problem with this game at the moment. You can die like 30 minutes in, and because you can barely bring anything back, basically you wasted your time, which is not good design. You want people to keep feeling engaged by still making vertical progress, even if they're, getting bodied by the game. That's why stuff like Hades and Rogue Legacy, Wizard of Legend and stuff, that's why those games work. Here it's like, well, you're rewarded for just grinding. You're not rewarded for just playing well. It's a little bit weird. I watched someone play this before work last night, and he got like all the way to the end, but then he was doing like pixels of damage. The bosses were taking like 10 minutes or more. But for a roguelike like this is a pretty excessive amount. It didn't take that much. It seems like you could beat it without grinding, but you would have to have pretty good luck. Pretty good luck and an unhealthy amount of skill. They need to make the progression a little bit more fine-tuned. Because the thing that sucked about these kinds of games has been, you get screwed over by RNG or you don't really know how to play the game yet. No, you don't get new moves. Like, after watching that guy, he fought some big spider boss, and it's obviously a problem for me because I'm an arachnophobe, but he was playing really well. Like, he knew what he was doing. But the boss was taking, like, pixels of damage. He had to play his heart out for, like... it felt like it was, like, 10 minutes or more. A really excessive amount for a roguelike. You shouldn't have to play your heart out that much. It's really breaking the limit of what's acceptable for this kind of game. Should be like maybe 2-3 minutes at most. With somebody who's actually like using all the mechanics and stuff, it shouldn't be like 10 minutes. So that's telling me I should just try to get through this first level or two a bunch of times. Just grind. Basically, you lose everything if you die. You don't keep anything at all. So, they really encourage you to grind. If you're actually trying to finish all the levels, it's way worse. And you need these materials to upgrade your stuff too, so if you just keep dying, you're really not going to accomplish anything, and I think that's where this game's gameplay loop fails. You want people to feel like actually playing the game is useful. You don't want them to feel like they're wasting their time, and that's kind of how this game feels right now. It's far more effective to just grind. I'm gonna try to get through the second level, as this is actually a pretty decent start. But if this one fails, I'm just gonna keep fighting the first boss. Like I said, I saw somebody get all the way to the end, and he started doing, like, no damage. There's very few heals in this game, too, so really hard to recover in this game. I haven't beaten the second boss yet. I'm pretty sure the first thing they're gonna fix is the progression. This might legitimately be one of those games where it really is better to just wait. Wait until they fix it instead of trying to play it now. I'm not gonna refund this though. I think this game has a kick-ass foundation. It's just kind of didn't really catch some of what makes these games fun. You know, getting your ass kicked all the time, but still feeling like you're making some progress. It feels like with the way it's set up, how hard it is to heal and stuff, they want you to keep pushing farther and farther, but the fact that the progression is so slow and punishing really prevents you from doing that. Which is what's weird. You know, it's not like Diablo 3 does this kind of thing a lot better, where you have like increasing difficulty, it scales up forever, but You know, the higher in you can push, the better rewards you get. They already have that system set up in this game, but most people can't even clear it the first time because the rewards and the progression are so jacked up. I don't want to imagine what the other difficulties are like. Imagine, even if you managed to get that far, you would probably have to grind a bunch. Just do like the first level over and over. I think at that point, your skill wouldn't even really matter. Your skill will not get you that far. You would have to grind. Alright, well there's the boss room. A little odd how you basically want to go to the boss right away every time because of the way the health system works in this game. You can't really recover from a mistake easily, so generally you want to just go straight to the boss. I'm probably going to wipe here, and if I do, I'm just going to keep fighting the first boss. It takes too long to get here. I watched somebody go through his attacks earlier, so hopefully I can get a good handle on it. I mean, that part of the game is fine. give me an attack where I can hurt you? Or not. It's all good. I got 2 hits in. There we go. Yeah, I could continue, but I got so many materials, it's counterproductive to do that. And that's what feels weird. That's why I wasted my potion right now, because there's no reason to go any farther. I'm just basically wasting everything I'm doing if I go any farther. Very oddly, poorly balanced. Basically, I have to go back. There's no reason to not go back. So it's definitely a grind game, which isn't a bad thing. But it's just that if you get actively punished for like trying to go farther, which I think is kind of dumb. All right, so that's one thing unlocked. Well, I got like 20 of the green Magatama for that. So why would I want to continue? There is no reason to continue. There really is no reason to keep going. Because it's so hard to recover from taking damage in this game. It really is better to just go back. If I can clear the first 2 levels consistently, and I do that for like a couple hours or so, I should actually start to make some progress. But the progression feels weird. It feels like like an online game, you know, where they want you to like log in every day and or spend money to progress faster. But you know, it's just a one-time purchase early access game. I think part of the reason why they designed it this way is because they want to gate people's progress until they have more content ready, but this game already has like a pretty crazy amount of content for an early access game. Like, I'm actually impressed with how much it has to unlock already. That's the only reason I can think why they shipped this game with the progression the way it is. If I had gone any farther, I would have just died and lost everything. Maybe they plan this to be like a mobile game at some point. I mean, they forgot to like change the progression. They have played some games that were originally mobile games and they make them console games, but like generally what they do is they completely revamp the progression because there's no microtransactions. There's no microtransactions and you're not trying to like bloat your player base, inflate your numbers and stuff. I'm sure they'll fix it though, it's the #1 complaint about this game. That and the weird hitboxes. Yes, you see Kamen Rider Meteor. What a boss. It's not like it really matters. Just gonna be doing the first two bosses over and over. It doesn't make sense to really go any farther. It's a little bit weird how they have this here, but like somebody dealing with all this shit should be. Water actually doesn't hurt him. Just from playing like Symphony of the Night and stuff, you expect the water to hurt you. You don't actually have to jump over it. It takes a lot to kind of unlearn that playing this game. Spikes are the only like environmental hazard. The first two levels. Most of the time, the stuff you get in here is pretty terrible. I think one way they could fix that is maybe make it so that you could get like the blueprint diagrams from there. That'd be another way to encourage like actually playing the game. Gold feels kind of useless. I didn't get any health. I wasn't paying attention to my souls. Run might not get far. I did just get a key, so I think I might just kill this run here and just go back. I'm curious how they're going to fix the progression in this game. They need to do something. But there's not really a lot of easy solutions because of how jacked up it is. It's like, obviously it's a roguelike, you still want there to be some penalty to dying, but you don't want people to lose, like, everything they're doing. That's incredibly demoralizing. this run. Already wasted a pot and everything, and I have no health too. That's the other thing. Wasn't really paying attention to where my souls were, so I think trying to go any farther than that is very counterproductive. You need a lot of these to craft. Oh, I'm very close to getting one of these too. The better choice is to just leave. That's what this game is, folks. It's a there we go. Got that too. Yeah, that's a good reason to leave. It's a grind game that is cosplaying as a skill-based game. Obviously, there's still lots of skill involved, but you have to play your heart out and basically make no mistakes. The runs are about, I've seen, a little bit under an hour long, so you think you can play perfectly for an hour with very few opportunities to correct your mistakes, then be my guest. But normal people, or people who aren't that much of a masochist, are probably going to want to grind. I mean, the gameplay is good, so it's not like it's terrible. I'll be right back. It got about 28 minutes until New Genesis goes up. I think I'm gonna play something else. Like I said, that game does not really, you don't get a lot of progress per run. You really would, it actually is better from what people are saying to just grind for a couple hours. Yeah, I don't even really have that time right now. I'm gonna be playing something else in 20 minutes. Let's see, what else can I play to kill some time? I'd probably do like 2 more runs of that, but I probably still will not be able to unlock anything. I think it would be pretty boring to watch too. The first patch is supposed to be in June. It's going to be like a new character. Play this game for a little bit.
United States.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put out a patch fixing the progression in like probably the next week. Out of here, Matlock. Yep, 20 minutes. 20 minutes until the servers come up, and then no one can get in for an hour. Inevitably, it's not gonna work. No, from both my experience and growing up with my mom, who's a very avid MMO gamer, hardcore into MMOs. You know, it's not gonna work at launch, but I'll try anyway. Ah, you bastard. I got like halfway through this game without dying earlier today. I'm playing bad. You don't get any extends in this game. So if you want to 1cc this game, you have to play good at the start. They don't really give you any leeway. This is a really well designed game. It's weird that you don't get any extends. Alright, Hogan, let's go. Round 2. Yeah, get DP. Ah. Nice. Clean fight. Yeah, this game isn't as combo heavy as LNS, but it's a lot better balanced and pace. Hey, it extends. Nice. Didn't know there was an extend in there. Alright, it's about time to load up the game and have the servers not work. Par for the course for an online game launch. I expect nothing. But I got the day off, so I'm gonna try. Yeah, that game is awesome. I really enjoy playing it. Very well designed open BOR game, which is usually an oxymoron, but I've actually discovered quite a few good ones past few days. Yeah, that game is really good. I beat it last night. Just playing through it again. Alright, it's about time to start. You remove my source. Open BOR game. Yeah, like 3 minutes. Wonder what other people are doing. Trying to get in. How many people are going to be streaming themselves at the launch screen? That's generally how stuff like this works. Whenever an online game launches, be it a beta or like a full release, you go in like the Twitch directory. You go in the Twitch directory, and all the thumbnails are the same. It's everybody's trying to get in. Nobody's actually streaming any content. They're streaming a title screen. Yeah, I'm gonna do my guild raid on KOF while I wait for this, because I know I'm not gonna get in. When you grow up with a mom who was and still is very hardcore into MMOs, you kind of learn how this shit works. You don't expect anything. Alright, time to stare at a load screen. Everybody's favorite thing to do in a video game is not play it. Hey, look at the directory right now. Everybody's on the title screen waiting. Come on, skip this shit. I don't really care what my guy looks like. None of this stuff really carries over. I'm not gonna waste time on a character creator. Alright, this is about what I expected. Yep. That's why you don't waste time creating a character, folks. Oh, wait. They changed that? No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to change the settings. Why is it so choppy? Where's graphics? Why am I on lowest? Yeah, the usual shit that messes with these games for rendering.
Hey there. Later.
How is it so choppy? Is it just when it's sitting but it's running really poorly? Holy shit, performance! What the hell is wrong with the frame rate? It's so bad. No. What do you need to run this? Like a 3070 or something? What the hell? I don't want to play it like this. I don't give a crap about clouds. I want the game to run better. Could like not even be an issue. I don't know why this is so choppy. Motion blur off. Run better, please. You only have one weapon. Guess they didn't add the other weapons. my usage at right now? I don't know why this is running so choppy. It's actually using a lot of my CPU. Let me try closing like Chrome and stuff. It might be as simple as that. I'm getting abnormally high CPU usage from this. That's probably why it's tanking. I can't work with this frame rate, dude. Come on, stop honking, dude. Shut up. Let me access the menu. Hey, I don't care. It might be running in 1440p, that might be why. Alright, can you stop honking, please? I don't care about that right now. I'm trying to get it to not run like crap. I can't seem to change the resolution. Try like 90 FPS. So right now my CPU usage is like maxed. That's probably what's causing it. I can get the usage down like under 100. Resolution generally messes with CPU usage. It's generally other stuff that does. Yeah, I don't really care about the shadows and shit. I want it to like not max out my CPU. That's all I'm after. I don't understand why this game is so heavy. Getting really annoyed with this. Should be able to run this at like 120. I think it's just optimized poorly. Nothing really seems to be helping. I don't have anything running on the computer right now either. It's just exploit. It's probably going to get a lot better in here because this is going to be its last. Okay, can I skip to your deck faster, please? CPU usage is like down across the board in here. I think it's just the open world that's rendering too much at once. It might be like something that will lower the rendering. Seems like the draw distance is really high. I'm probably gonna see if there's something in here for a draw distance. Yeah, probably if I put this down it should be better. Massive draw distance. Nice. Let's see how it gets when I get there. That confirms it. It's the draw distance. As soon as I get back out here, I'm wondering what it's gonna do. Should not be that heavy though. That's what's weird. Yeah, as soon as I'm back out here, it's at. That's what you deal with as a PC gamer, folks. You deal with shit like this. Tab out so I can actually look at the chat. How hard is this to play in Japanese? Vanilla PSO2? Not very hard. It's nothing that using your phone with like Google Translate would solve. It's mostly just a fixing and stuff.
Later. Hey!
Wish this guy would talk faster. Can read faster than this. Alright, can you get to the point? Talking. Let me get class moves.
Hey!
It's nice having a dash there. They've really de-emphasized having to spam moves just to go around faster. I really approve of that as somebody who's a PSO2 veteran. Not having to spam like dashing straight and stuff. Get around. Nice. Oh god, the simple arts are on. I have to turn that off. The degenerates playing this game.
Hey!
Keep their horny to themselves. How do I do that right now? Something they're doing. There's simple art. None. stream snipe somebody, and they started posting porn next to them. So I heard that happened to somebody, so I'm not taking any risks.
there.
I'm not getting banned because somebody else gave me actual how horny they are.
Later. Later.
Welcome! See you later!
Welcome. Hey. Hey. Welcome.
Oh yeah, you only get, you don't get the other weapons. The other weapons are not going to be until the, 4 next month. I was wondering if it was going to give me anything.
Drop in again sometime.
I wanted to try the other weapons.
See you later!
I don't know if it's going to be crossplay. Probably not because of Sony. I'm not a fan of this open world so far. Mostly because it's maxing out my CPU for like no reason, regardless of what settings I choose. And the fact that it's just running around and fucking nothing. I don't understand why people have such a boner for open world MMOs. It's not fun just rocking around and nothing. I would rather just have it still be instanced. So I can actually just play more often, not run around. I'm getting ride is too slow. Frame rate. Understand what's I should check and see how hard it is to get back in because there might be something I can change. Should not be maxing out my CPU like this. No matter what setting I choose, CPU is staying at 100%. It's giving me Dynasty Warriors 9 PTSD. This is boring. I'm not actually really disappointed with this. Rather like than like just the instanced areas, so be anything like old school PSO2, where you just fight and it's fast pace and it's running around and nothing. This is just also everything to accommodate everybody being able to fight at once. And much I liked it better. The pacing was way better when the max MPA was like 12 people, 8 to 12 people, well 4 to 12 actually. Now it's just like everything's a fucking HP sponge. This is disappointing so far. I hope that when they go to full release, it's been out for a while, that they just like make like instant shit that I can do, so I don't have to bother with the open world. Which is also bringing my computer to its knees for some reason, regardless of any graphics option I choose. It's running like shit. I'm very disappointed with the frame rate as well. Very poor. You also can't fast travel whenever you want to. They really want you to interact with this empty open world. Instead of just getting the I want to go back to that instant. I knew I was going to do it. Complete trash.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting really, really tired of this game. Give me instanced. Shit. Just fight. Stop fighting. It's not fun to look at the world. Don't run too slow. Glide is too slow. And everything is needlessly big. I'd rather have it be like a tenth of the size and have more enemies. It's not fun when you fight for like 2 minutes and then you have like 5 minutes of running. I don't even know how to get back. Can I just like teleport or something? I wish they would ban open world games. Go back to things being instance, so there's actually a good frame rate and more actually playing. The open world is like completely barren. There's nothing in it. Might just go back to old PSO2. I like that a lot better than this. The combat has made some improvements for sure, but everything else just feels way worse. I'm gonna go to the Reddit right now and see if anybody else has got this crazy CPU usage. Frame rate's making me very uncomfortable too. I was expecting it to run better than this. It runs like complete garbage. Should have like 120 FPS locked. If I can find anything through all those stupid low-effort shit posts. Find anybody actually playing the game. The Microsoft Store is already broken. Surprise, surprise. Apparently it's trying to run at 1440p. That might be why. Let's see if I can fix this. This is stupid. I shouldn't have any problems running this game. Okay, shut up, dude.
Stay safe.
You still can't change it from the game, which I think is really terrible. That was the worst thing about vanilla PSO2 is you couldn't change like any of the settings for like the windows and stuff. I would have to leave. I'd have to close the game to fix this. I'm not even sure if it will fix it. What's their graphics settings are still so primitive. I can't find any help about this at all. Apparently people can't even launch the game, so I'm in a pretty shitty spot right now. If I close it and try to fix this, most likely I can't get back in. Alright. Well, I think that's my best option instead of complaining about the frame rate for another 5 hours. I don't really care if I can't get back in, really. I'm kind of like disappointed with it. It feels exactly like I thought. Trying to appeal to people who have a boner for walking around in nothing instead of just focusing on the actual gameplay, the combat. I'm not going to be surprised if I can't get back in. Let's try running it in window to 1080p. And then I'm going to put up Afterburner and see what it's actually running at. It's about what I expected, though. I didn't really go into it expecting that I liked it, so... Okay, how do I do this again? Let's put up Reva Tuner. Alright, let's see how it runs this time. Maybe this will help. If it doesn't, I might just hold off. I'm actually feeling a little bit lost on the frame rate. It's already 35 FPS. Slideshow. Yeah, my CPU's still maxed. It looks like it did like nothing at all. What happened when I get back out here? That's the downside of playing PC games, folks. Having to deal with stuff like this. Try just locking it to 60. Need to make this glide like double the speed. That's what makes it take so long to get around. The dash is nice. The dash. The dash is a welcome improvement over base PSO2, but the glide is terrible. You move at like a glacial pace. What's my GPU usage at right now? My GPU is at 33%. Usually went up to 51 when I looked at the window. Seems like it's a very CPU-bound game. I'm getting annoyed with this. Why is this game so choppy and demanding? It shouldn't be. I don't even know if it's worth troubleshooting this. I'm not really enjoying it so far. Very disappointed. Expecting to not have any like a PowerPoint presentation. Seems like it's like barely even using the CPU, which is weird. I think I'd rather just play something else at this point. This is boring too, waiting for something to spawn instead of the way it was before, where you spot. It'd be nice if they had like an instance mode where it was like the old school MPA sizes, and everything had less health. You had like a more compact world. I think that would be really fun. There's a decent amount of stuff in the open world, but nowhere near enough to really warrant having it be this big. It still feels like a lot of it is just fluff.
Thanks for stopping by.
There are some nice design decisions, like having heals be something that you pick up on the field. It does help to make exploring not feel completely pointless, but it's not as much as it should be.
Come by anytime, okay?
I guess that's all there really is.
Later.
See if I can find the fighter NPC.
Hello.
Should be over here.
How are you feeling?
Well, I think I'm done with that for now. It's using a ridiculous amount of CPU power. I have no clue why. Combat feels good, the performance does not, and neither does the open world, which was exactly the main fear I had going into it. I don't think open world is inherently a bad thing, it's just that generally it ends up being like that, where it's like, yes, there are some things to do in it, but it feels way too big. There's not enough really going on in it. And I felt like I spent most of my time, like, just running around. I'm sure they'll improve it in time, but it doesn't really feel like the open world needs to be there. It feels like it's just there to appease Westerners and stuff. I'm a Westerner that does not like that shit. I would rather have just more contained gameplay. I'm gonna make a post about this right now. The traversal does feel better than base PSO2. One of the things you might not understand as somebody who didn't play PSO2 that much is that um, you used to run painfully slow in that game, and they added moves. Their way of fixing it was just adding moves that made you go faster. So generally, to go from battle to battle, you used a travel move, which was kind of a band-aid on the problem. You know, you still needed photon points to do that. And there definitely were periods of time in the old PSO2 where you would run around in nothing. I like the fact that they have a sprint, but I feel like the sprint should be faster, and the glide should actually have a use for traversal because the glide is useless. The glide makes you go dreadfully slow. It doesn't even really feel like it has much of a purpose besides gaining altitude. I feel like it's got a ways to go for sure. There should be more events in the open world. There should be more enemies, and you should be able to travel faster. I think if they fixed those things, and it wasn't so the battle encounters and like events and stuff weren't so sparsely distributed, it would be better. But it feels like it has all the trappings of any other open world game where you're you're spending a lot of time running around in nothing, and your chances to interact with the enemies in the game world and the gameplay mechanics are like greatly limited. And that's exactly what I knew was going to happen because I watched a lot of footage of the last couple beta tests they've done for the Japanese version. You know, Dynasty Warriors 9 is not a good open world game either because that game is also a victim to having large expanses of nothing. But in that game, you could move at like fucking light speed. You could max out a horse and get anywhere really fast, and you had fast travel points like everywhere. Ironically, despite all the flaws that Dynasty Warriors 9 has as a whole, like traversal was not one of those issues. You could get around really fast. There wasn't anything to do in the open world, and there were, the whole vast expanse of nothing problem was still there. It's probably worse than the game I was just playing, but you still had you had really fast ways to move around. The sprint is a welcome change. Not having to spam dash PAs to get around is really nice, but it feels like it doesn't really solve the problem of you're just running around in nothing for sometimes upward of a couple minutes before you get into a fight, and the fights are nowhere near as long or as intense or as dense as they were in the original game. I mean, I'm glad that they're doing the beta to get feedback on that stuff, but it just feels like a lot of that shit is very obvious things that happen with um, any other open world game. You know, Black Desert Online is a good example. That game has a really large expanse of stuff, and you can't like fast travel and things, so you spend time waiting around on a horse, and it's like that time would be better spent just letting you teleport or letting you sprint really fast so that you're actually playing the game and not just looking at stuff. Actually, I want to pull this up right now. This is pretty interesting. So, give me a second here. I'm actually feeling a little bit sick from playing it, so I should probably not play it anymore. Ah, here we go. The team is taking concerns about the slow movement speed of photon gliding. Definitely needed. Making adjustments to movement speed might make it difficult to maintain the current game speed. What? It's already pretty slow. You spend a lot of time looking for the next fight, and you didn't really have that problem before. What's up, Grow? PSO2 Genesis is it's Dynasty Warriors 9's open world, but worse. It's just I feel kind of ironic saying that, but if the open world was like Dynasty Warriors 9, including like the traversal and how quickly you could get around, I would probably like it a lot more. It feels glacially paced, and the performance sucks too. Is the beta controller friendly? Yes. PSO2 has always been controller friendly. That's not the issue, it's everything else is the issue. I'm pretty disappointed. Yeah, I would rather play old PSO2 over that, despite the fact that the gameplay does feel like it made some pretty big advancements. Not as much finger gymnastics to play it, but everything else just doesn't feel good. Main issues with it: performance. It maxes my CPU regardless of the settings. It doesn't matter what I put on; it runs like crap. Traversal leaves a lot to be desired. It takes a really long time to get places, and the action doesn't feel as non-stop as the original game. It was no matter what happened with no matter what grievances you had with like the base game, old school vanilla PSO2. One of the things that you couldn't really complain about was how exhilarating the action was because you were always moving to the next encounter. There were a ton of monsters, a ton of shit going on. It's just complete, just fun chaos. And I feel like right now that's completely gone for the sake of having an open world, and it doesn't really feel like it's a good sacrifice. Could make the open world a lot smaller, let you run faster and have more enemies on the screen. It would feel a lot better. I mean, I played it for a good hour or so, and it just didn't feel like it didn't feel anywhere near as exhilarating as the old game. I knew that that was going to be a problem going into it because I watched a lot of footage of the previous betas, but the performance is really bothering me the most. I actually feel a little bit sick right now playing it because of how much it was fluctuating. Like physically, it feels a lot like Age of Calamity. Not as bad, obviously, but it's a shame. The full release is supposed to be next month, so I mean they've still got time to fix it. But I spent so much time doing tech support. I'm kind of like not feeling it right now. I mean, the original PSO2 was not. The original PSO2 was not that great either. The people that played the global version, they got the good version of the game. PSO2 at the start was not very good either. I mean, most MMOs aren't. Generally, a lot of the shit that gets added in like the first like 1 to 3 years of an MMO is like shit that should have been there in the first place. This game is going to be no different. I'm sure they're going to improve it a lot, They have done a lot of polish on things like upgrading the weapons and stuff. You don't feel like you need a PhD or a degree to like upgrade your weapons and stuff. Like things like that are really nice. The quality of the move sets is better. Um, Switching palettes and stuff is a lot easier. It's not like they haven't improved anything. It just feels like a lot of it you can't appreciate it as much because of the open world. The glide is really shitty. I feel like the glide should be like a replacement for, you know, being able to traverse fast. The sprint should be a lot faster too. It still feels like it takes too long to get places. And it doesn't really feel like the open world is really adding much of anything to it besides just having larger MPAs and being able to explore, but the exploring is not really interesting. It has the same problems that like every other open world game does, where you're not really interacting with much of anything. A lot of it is just waiting for the next fight, and you never really had that problem before. If you're playing like an emergency quest with a full 12 man MPA, like that shit was really exciting. Even if nothing dropped, it was still fun to play because you were constantly engaged. And in this, it feels like you get little short bursts of actually feeling excited and exhilarated like that, and then everything else is just okay. Well, I need to run slowly to the next battle. Ironically, Dynasty Warriors 9, I mean, that game definitely has a shitty open world too. I feel like the open world in Dynasty Warriors 9 actually got worse over time, ironically, because they added the lore gems and stuff, and that made a lot of the gathering and things pointless. Like if you bought that game at launch, and then when they added the lore gems and stuff, like a lot of those things, there was no reason to really interact with them anymore. But what was beautiful about Dynasty Warriors 9's open world was the fact that you could make a horse with like max speed, and you could like go across the whole thing in like 20-30 minutes or whatever. You could get to where you needed to go really fast, and they had fast travel points like literally everywhere. So once you got past the initial like exploration of the world and you played through a couple story modes, you could get anywhere you wanted right away, and you really didn't need to interact with the open world that much. In this game, it feels like you move so slow and everything is so massive for no reason, and you can't like quickly get to a fight. And for a game that's still very combat focused, that feels like a really glaring flaw. I'm not really sure what can be done to fix it, but I'm gonna wait to play it until I hear if anybody else has got issues with this stuff. Yeah, the performance, I don't know what the bottleneck is. It shouldn't be my CPU. My CPU is still pretty good. I mean, I could get like an i9 9900K, but I feel like that's overkill for a game like that. When I really don't have any problems running anything else. Everything else I run is it's completely fine. It's like only that game that's causing that issue. I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh on it though. It's got the trappings of being a service game. Most service games suck when they come out, and they're missing like very glaring things that you think should be like a brain dead thing to have at launch. They're all like that. It's not just that game. I mean, I grew up with a mom who is an even more hardcore MMO gamer than I am. I don't really play that many MMOs. The one I played the most would probably be like PSO2 and stuff, but I played a lot of service games, which have a lot in common with MMOs, and generally it's always the same thing. It's like, why wasn't this shit in the game at launch? Why do I have to wait like a year for you to put it in? And the original PSO2 was very much like that. They did speed up the movement speed a lot. I think in like episode 3. And then they started adding the travel PAs and stuff, which was like kind of a band-aid on the issue, but a lot of the problem with vanilla PSO2 was that it had to run on the Vita, and the Vita could like barely handle the game. So they couldn't have you running too fast because, of the problems with draw distance and stuff. Draw distance and having a really underpowered console. When they got rid of Vita support, the game did get a little bit better, but they're always still dealing with like an old engine and other shit like that. I'm sure by this time, like next year, it's probably going to be a really awesome game. But just from that little vertical slice of it, I don't really feel like I'm too motivated to really play it more. I feel like I would rather just go back to old PSO2, which is like way more my style. You know, fast-paced action, not really having to stop that much. I think I'm gonna order some food, and probably play some more Getsu Fumaden. So let me do that really quick. It's kind of weird how when you play Dynasty Warriors 9 for as long as I did, you realize that game did a lot right with its open world. Yes, it's, they didn't have the budget to make it like an Ubisoft game where there's like 5 billion things to collect and shit, but I mean, some people don't really like that either. A lot of people say that like Ubisoft open world games feel like work, and you're constantly overwhelmed by too much shit to do. It didn't have that problem, especially when they added like the Lord Gems and stuff to the point where like trying to craft things was kind of de-emphasized. But you could get around like lightning fast in that game. It was oddly satisfying maxing out a horse and then just feeling like you're in like a freaking race car. Like the horses in that game were like NASCAR speed. It felt like you were playing like F Zero or something, and that was oddly satisfying. Is despite the fact that the open world was still, had those trappings of not really having a whole lot to do in it. You didn't have to interact with it much, and you could still get into a fight really easily. In New Genesis, it feels like the opposite, and that's a real bummer. I don't know. You can't really judge MMOs like you can like a single purchase game, like a single player game or something. Generally your experience is always going to be rough playing an online game. How long it takes them to get it to the point where you feel like you're having more fun than frustration. I mean, that varies from game to game. I feel like KOF All Star fixed a lot of those problems pretty quickly, and they've added a fuck ton of polish to that game. But generally, your launch experience is going to be like no content. The optimization is going to be bad. There's going to be a lot of really obvious things wrong with the game that you wonder like, how did they get this far into development without noticing that those are issues? There's not much that can be done really. I'm gonna go ahead and stop. Actually, I'm gonna order some food. I think I'm gonna grab a pizza or something. And I think the change of plan is I'm gonna play some more Getsu Fumaden. I want to get farther in that. Um, I need to do my KOF All Star daily, and then I think I'll play some other stuff. I might like buy a new game or something. Yeah, you look at. I think what people don't realize is when you look at like, say, like a AAA single player game like Resident Evil 8 or like a new Call of Duty or something. Like those are going to be pretty complete experiences. They might do some patches for like quality of life and stuff, but generally they're better experiences overall. Games with like a finite amount of content, it's a lot easier to design around. But when you're like trying to like please people to the point that they stick around and they keep your player base numbers up and hopefully you please people to the point where they're spending money regularly, then you can't really judge the game. So the PSO2 that the global people got is like way better than the one that I had back in 2011, 2012. They really did a lot of improvements on that game, and I I shouldn't act like there are no improvements. A lot of the interface and stuff is a lot better. It's cool how you can get heals around the open world. That part is really nice. But the overall pacing just feels way worse. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna order my lunch, or to order my dinner actually, and we'll continue later tonight. I might play some more of that. I might play some more Getsu Fumiden. There's a couple demos I need to try too, so that's gonna be the change of plan. I have off today. I have no kitty sitting, so I've got all night to be a degenerate in game. We're gonna play some other stuff, something I'm gonna enjoy more. I'll catch you guys later. Probably be back around like, I don't know, 8:30, 9, depending on how long it takes the pizza to get here.